Iran. President Trump ordering a retaliatory attack yesterday, but then calling it off at the last minute. He commented on this yesterday. Take a listen.
Iran made a big mistake. They made a very bad mistake.
How will you respond?
You'll find out.
Are you willing to go to war with Iran?
You'll find out. You'll find out. I have a feeling, I may be wrong and I may be right, but I'm right a lot. I have a feeling that it was a mistake made by somebody that shouldn't have been doing what they did.
Are you saying you think it wasn't intentional to strike the drone?
I don't know. I find it hard to believe it was intentional, if you want to know the truth. I think that it could have been somebody who was loose and stupid that did it.
Joining me now, Pennsylvania Congressman, Foreign Affairs Committee member, and Iraq war veteran Scott Perry. Congressman, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks, Charles. Great to be with you.
Help us unpack what just happened in the last 24 hours or so.
Well, I do think that, look, this president doesn't want to go to war, but as your other hosts say, that the Iranians have been doing this to us for 39 or 40 years. Weakness is provocative, and they've seen no sign of strength from the United States for a long time, and they're testing the limits of this president. They're trying to provide some more space for a good deal for them, provide some bargaining space, a place to come back to, and that's why the escalation, once they escalate, they can drop down. I will say that I don't necessarily think it was a mistake, but as a guy who's flown on the Iraq-Iran border, there's no line in the desert, and the Iranians will fire at you if you get close. And we have absolute, we live through that. So, but I think there's probably more to the story here, and the president has provided some space. There's something going on behind the scenes, and the other shoe is going to drop. It might be military, but it really might not be. I think there are still a lot of levers that the president has to pull on individuals in Iran, on financial issues that really are going to be crippling. I think he can turn the screws down a lot more and than he has already, right. And it doesn't necessarily mean military involvement. That is the final push when you get to the military, but even at that, there are stages that we have to go through. And so I think there's still a lot of room here to get to where we want to get to. The question is, are the Iranians really serious at all?
Well, Congressman, it feels like when those initial oil, when the waivers were removed, it seems there's a serious correlation to stepped up acts of provocation. The tankers, the actions in different countries from, it feels like maybe that's when Iran started to really step this whole thing up. And you have to wonder, I mean, obviously, they know they would lose in a serious military confrontation with us. I've heard that one thing they think they would win, though, is nationalism. They've got some serious issues within their own country, that this may be a way for them to re-galvanize the country and maybe quell some dissent. Could that be part of their strategy?
I do think that's part of it. And, with the protests going on, this makes a common enemy for all the citizens, and there's a lot of peace and freedom-loving Iranians that would like to get rid of this regime, but this kind of does help to galvanize them in that. And look, they've got a tough nut to crack here because, as you said earlier, with the energy dominance of America and America exporting, they don't have the influence that they used to have in the energy markets. And you can see just, the prices at the pump aren't as influenced as they used to be. And part of this equation is places like India, China, other countries that are receiving Iranian oil, and they're the ones that are going to feel the pinch. It's not America. And so we are really in the driver's seat. Iran knows it, and they're just got to try and play this carefully for as much as they can without getting into a military conflict.
A lot of people who've weighed in on this, particularly on the other side of the aisle, are saying, hey, we need to get our allies involved. And every time I hear that, I think it's a yellow flag, maybe red flag. I'm just not sure that our allies move fast enough, or in this particular case, are even on the same page that we're on.
Well, I would agree with you. And if you look at common history over the last 39 years, folks that we thought were our allies, after the fact, we found that they were doing a lot of business with Iran, and that essentially led to deaths of American citizens, whether they were in Iraq or elsewhere. And so we got to really be careful when our allies are involved, because sometimes they're not quite the friend that we hope they would be. It's really better when America really drives the train and sets the conditions. As long as we do that, I think allies can be involved, but we have to lead. Right. And in the past, we just have not been there. And I said weakness is provocative, and Iran is testing this administration to see if it's like all the rest that has talked big and delivered little. I suspect they're going to find something very different with this president, as most of the world has already seen.
In the meantime, the Federal Aviation Administration barring all U.S. carriers from flying over Iran. Other carriers around the world also announcing similar moves. Your thoughts on that, Congressman?
Well, again, it's all about turning the screws down on Iran and isolating them, and that's just one more measure. They want to be part of the world, and they want to be able to nefariously ship stuff in and out, whether it's through the air or on the ground or over the sea. And again, it's just one more hurdle that they have to go through and explain to their people that are suffering under the yoke of a theological totalitarian regime why their life has to be so miserable. It makes it tough for them to rule, and that's really the point here.
Right.
Change how you act, and all this will end. You keep on being bellicose and threatening your neighbors and killing our allies and friends, then you're going to have to suffer this.
Congressman Scott Perry, thank you very much. Really appreciate it.